December is the start of the festive season here at Speechoz Skunkworx. So we've decided what better time for a Christmas special. So this is going to be a good one, folks. Strap yourself in. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. Speechoz Skunkworx would like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas for 2021 and hope that you have a great New Year in 2022. G'day, g'day. Welcome back to the channel. Grab yourself a coffee. As you can see, we're back in the kitchen again today. So it is absolutely raining outside. Seems to be that whenever I'm ready to do some filming, it is the time to get some rain, which we need a bit, so I can't complain too much. But anyway, so today I'm going to let you know a couple of little family secrets. So this is going to be my mum's Christmas pudding, which the recipe actually came from her mum. So my grandma used to make this and give it to us when we were kids. So hold on, you're going to get a treat here today. Find out how my mum makes the Christmas pudding. So Mum, if you are watching this is how you make your Christmas pudding. So I hope you're taking notes. Just kidding, she's made this for like 30 years. I'm sure she knows the recipe off the top of her head. So first up, I have put in here 250 grams of currants and 250 grams of sultanas. And then I've got 125 grams of dates here, and we just want to chop them up so all the fruit wants to be at the end of the day about the same size. So we will chop our dates as best we can. It doesn't have to be perfect, we just want them rough. But we just want to make sure there's no like massive big chunks of date that are twice the size of the sultanas. So we want to end up with everything being around the same size. And I'm sure Mum spends a bit more time making sure these are even, but it's the year 2020 and we don't have time for that. So we are just going to roughly go through and make sure there's no big chunks. So how about that weather? So it seems to me the story of my life is that every time I need to do something outside or I've got something planned, like go and ride my motorbike or whatever, it seems to be raining. So I don't know what the story is, whether it's just bad luck or whether it's just, I don't know, maybe I need to find different hobbies. I used to have a fishing boat. So back in the day we used to go fishing. I used to enjoy it, catch a few fish. I'd go with other people. They were organised, yep, let's go Friday. We'd go out, catch fish, good, you know, the weather was good, everything was good. So I'm like, I'm going to buy my own boat. So I go and buy a boat. I'd look at the weather charts, be like, yep, Friday's going to be the day. We'll go Friday. I'd organise, get off work, go Friday. It'd be blowing its arse out, or it'd be absolutely bloody pouring with rain, miserable. So after about 5 years of every time I planned to take this boat out, it would the weather would be just atrocious. So I gave up and I'm like, oh, well, I'll go and buy a motorbike. At least you can do that in the rain. And now every time I want to go somewhere, I mean, I can't ride the bike in the rain, off-road and stuff, it's all good. But yeah, every time I want to ride it on the road, it seems to be raining and it's just miserable riding around with wet clothes on. So I'm here in the kitchen cooking today. So we've put those dates in with our sultanas. We are going to measure 125 grams of this peel. How about I turn the scales on? So like everything, I'm pretty much not an expert. I just having a crack at this. I've done a couple before, turned out awesome. So I'm giving it another go this year. Hopefully when Mum comes over Christmas Day, she will give me the thumbs up on how good the pud is. So 125 grams of peel. And now the raisins. Make sure my bowl's zeroed. We want 250. $250 grams of raisins. And same with, as we said with the dates, if these are a lot bigger than your sultanas and the size of your dates, you want to chop them up. So we probably need to just slice most of these in half. Otherwise they're going to be too big. They're going to consume up, that one can go in, they're going to consume up your pudding with these big pieces of fruit, which we don't want. We want all our fruit, like I said, to be roughly the same size. There's a couple of big bits in there, and then like everything, it's not going to be uniform because it's fruit, it grows. It's not perfectly sized. Anyway, we'll chop some of these. I'll get, hopefully Mum's watching, she can give me some critique on how I'm going. Hopefully I've got the sound right on this video today. So a couple of times in the last couple of videos as I've been swapping from microphone to microphone, I forgot to change the camera settings. So I need to keep remembering to set the microphone up correctly each time. Hey folks, while I'm here chopping up these raisins and being really boring, how about you jump on to YouTube and hit that subscribe button for me. Like the video and hit the notification bell. That way you get to see all my videos. And if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. So now that you're back from doing that, we're nearly finished here with the raisins. I'm using a fairly arbitrary measurement. There's no hard and fast rule. Just picking the big ones, cutting them in half, and if they're little, I'm letting them go. So there we go. 250 grams of raisins. And then we'll get my bowl back, turn the scales on. The last bit is 250 grams of sugar, brown sugar. We're going to give that a quick stir. So this is literally just the fruit at the moment. We're going to put some booze in here, and then we're going to let it sit. So my grandma used to do all this in July, and then she'd make the thing in August, so she used to let it sit for about a month. So you want to let your pudding, after you've cooked it, you want to let it sit for about at least a month as well. So we've done that. And then the last little bit, we want half a cup of this Apera, which is Australian version of sherry, because we can't call it sherry anymore. But half a cup of Apera in there. And then we're just going to put the lid on, let all the fruit soak up that sherry, and it'll take on that flavour when we cook it later on. Rightio, I've found the lid, and so I'm back here. Put the lid on. I'm just going to give it a bit of a mix up, and then we're going to let this sit for about 4 weeks, and then once a week we're going to come and turn it over. That's why we're using a nice Tupperware container. So we'll come back in a month's time and we'll finish making the Christmas pudding. You guys, however, only have to wait a few seconds through the wonders of social media, and I'll be back and I'll show you what the next couple of steps are. So here we are, it's a couple of months down the track, and I've had my fruit now. It's been soaking. It's been soaking since I made the first half of the video, and it is looking gorgeous. So we put in there some Australian Apera, which is equivalent of sherry, and then I come back a bit later on. I added a little bit more sugar because I didn't put enough in the first time, and I added some rum. So we've had that soaking now for another few more weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, with the sugar, the rum, the Apera, and the fruit, ready to roll. So now we're going to go to the next step. So I've got all the stuff laid out here that I'm going to use. I've got a big pot to boil it in, calico, string, and all my ingredients. So let's start measuring. First up, we're going to put our breadcrumbs in. And I'm going to run everything through a sieve. Probably don't have to, but I'm going to do it anyway just to make sure there's no big chunky bits. Cup of flour. Half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Alrighty, so let's get all that and sift it in. Then I am left with a couple of chunkier bits. in the sieve here. I'll go and chuck them away. Giving that a quick stir, add in the butter. I forgot to put my water on. So once we got all that mixed through, put our eggs, our milk, give it another stir up, and then we'll prepare the calico. Right, yeah, that looks like it's pretty well mixed there now. I'm just going to let that sit here for a minute. All those ingredients can talk to each other. They can work out how they're going to work together and become the awesomeness that is our Christmas Pud. Rightio, so I've just wet my calico down, I've spread it out, and I'm just going to pour some flour over it to make the skin. So I'm just going to sprinkle it everywhere. Alright, so I'm just going to give that a bit of a rub and even it out. Pick all these bits off, we don't need them. Now, these have all decided that they're going to become the best Christmas Pud we've ever had. So one last little stir and then put it on the calico. I want to scrape all that yumminess out. Rightio, now we've got him all out. We're going to gather it all up and tie it tightly
You grab that bit and I'll pull the string for you. And we just want to tie that up as tight as I can get it, as you can get it. Right, yeah, you'll notice that when we tied this up, we left a loop on one end. So we doubled the string over and we've left a loop. That way, after it's cooked, we can then hang it up. You'll hear that I've got the water boiling over there behind me. And I'm just going to go drop it in. You want to make sure you keep it off the bottom of the pot where it's the hottest. So I've dropped a plate in and we're going to cook it 6 hours. I'm not sure how well you can see in there with all the steam coming out, but I've just topped that up with hot water until it's above the height of the string. So you want to make sure your pud is completely submerged the whole time. Pop the lid on, we'll come back and check it in an hour or two. So you'll want to come and check on this every hour or so, see how it's going, make sure it's all good, and then we'll just top him up a little bit with a bit more water. We want to try and keep that water level up around the level of the string or a little bit higher. There should be enough water in there to take us through to the end now, and I'll come back when it's finished. So the last step with this pudding is once we've boiled it, so I boiled this one for about 5.5 hours. Once it's boiled, we hang it up so it doesn't have anything to touch, bottom doesn't touch anything, and we let it dry out. So I've let this one dry out for about 2 days, and then I'm going to unwrap it. I'm just going to wrap it up in some Glad wrap, and then you can store it in the fridge. Come Christmas time when you want to eat it, Christmas Day, you can just warm it up in the microwave, or traditionally what they did was they boiled it for about another half an hour to warm it all up, and then you cut it, put some custard on it, and away you go. Mum's Christmas pudding ready to rock and roll. Thanks for sticking with me through this video. I know it's not one of my normal workshop type videos, fixing stuff, but there you go. We've made ourselves Christmas pudding ready to rock and roll on Christmas Day. Thanks for watching.